Good afternoon. Here is the midday news on OGBC. My name is Titilope Awobajo. First, the major items. Federal government calls for collaboration to curb insecurity in Nigeria. Ogun State government is reassuring of cleaner and healthier environment. Russia has launched. The solution to the current insecurity in the country requires collaborative efforts from stakeholders. The Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima, stated this when he requested China's support while playing host to a delegation from China. The senior special advisor to the President on Media and Communications in the office of the Vice President, Mr. Stanley Nkocha, said the Vice President expressed optimism that Nigeria would surmount its security challenges. The Vice President called for constant improvement in the relations between Nigeria and China. He added that the two countries that have sustained mutual respect and honor for each other. In another development, the federal government said there is nothing to show for more than 60 taxes and levies collected across the country. The chairman of the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms, Mr. Taiwo Oyedele, made the claim at the Senate plenary on Wednesday. He noted the federal government intends to halt the situation where Nigerian businesses are forced to pay tax even in the face of losses, compelling the need the system through key reforms. Mr. Oyedele said the country is beginning to lose the tax base to other countries, hence the need for urgent tax reforms. His allegation followed the Senate's Wednesday's protest over the entry of the Federal Inland Revenue Service chairman. On education, the federal government is introducing conditional cash transfer initiative to encourage parents to release their children for enrollment in schools. The Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, made this known in Abuja on Wednesday. According to him, this will go a long way in addressing the increasing rate of out-of-school children. The minister noted that the ministry's strategic goals include reducing out-of-school children, addressing learning poverty, and enhancing skills development and human capital for the labor market. He also stressed the importance of strengthened governance and management in the education sector, which involves organizational reforms of relevant institutions. Comrade Al Hassan Yahya has emerged the national president of the Nigeria Union of Journalists (NUJ). He was elected at the 8th Triennial National Delegates Conference held on Wednesday in Owerri, Imo State. Comrade Yahya polled 436 votes to defeat Comrade Dele Atumbi, who got 97 votes, and Comrade Mohammed Garba, who secured 39 votes. Meanwhile, the federal government will continue to uphold the freedom of press with a view to promoting good governance in their country, positing that government is not unaware of the importance of free press in promoting democracy. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Alhaji Mohammed Idris, who was represented at the conference by Dr. Sulaiman Haruna, acknowledged the efforts of the media in championing democracy and national development. He saw the need for the government, the media, and the people to see themselves as partners and work together to enhance the nation's democracy. A cleaner, healthier, and more sustainable environment. Governor Dapo Abiodun stated this in Abeokuta at a workshop for health, safety, and environment personnel of industries in the state. According to him, the government will also enforce the proper management of byproducts of production sustainably and responsibly by strengthening regulatory frameworks to make industries embrace best practices. Represented by the Deputy Governor, Engineer Noimot Salako Yedili, Mr. Governor noted that the position of the state in Nigeria's economic landscape will be sustained by the government. You're listening to the midday news on OGBC 90.5 FM. The Russian army this Thursday launched a massive attack on Ukraine's energy sector, forcing emergency power outages as temperatures dropped across the country. The overnight strikes come after 2 weeks of dramatic escalation, during which both sides launched new weapons to gain the upper hand ahead of the inauguration of United States President-elect Donald Trump in January 2025. Ukraine's energy minister, Mesa Feman Halushchenko said power infrastructure was under massive enemy attack after a nationwide air alert was issued for incoming missiles. Ukraine's energy grid has been heavily targeted since Russia's invasion in February 2022, with Kyiv accusing Moscow of terror tactics by trying to plunge Ukrainian cities into darkness and cut off heating to civilians throughout the winter. The Air Force reported a string of Russian cruise missiles and attack drones heading for cities across the country, including the capital Kyiv, Kharkiv in the northeast, and the Black Sea port city of Odessa. Taiwan military held an early morning air defense drill this Thursday to test its response and engagement procedures ahead of a trip by President Lai Ching-te at the end of the week to the Pacific that will include stopovers in Hawaii and Guam. China is likely to launch military drills in the coming days near Taiwan using President Lai's upcoming trip to the Pacific and scheduled stopovers in the United States as a pretext. China claims democratically governed Taiwan as its own territory and says President Lai is a separatist. President Lai said only Taiwan's people can decide their future and has repeatedly offered talks with Beijing that have been rejected. Votes are being counted in Namibia in what could be the most competitive election since independence from white ruled South Africa 34 years ago. The poll was marred by logistics issues, with voting continuing for an unscheduled second day this Thursday in areas. Mrs. Netumbo Nandi is seeking to become the country's first female president. She is the candidate of the governing Southwest African People Organization (SWAPO) to replace H. Gengog, who died in February after 9 years in office. However, high unemployment, poverty, inequality, and corruption allegations have eroded support for the party. Mrs. Ndawite's main challenger is Pandeleni Itula of the Independent Patriots for Change Party, as well as 13 other candidates. Heavy snowfall in South Korea has disrupted flights and ferries and killed at least 3 persons. The country grappled with its second day of record snow this Thursday, with the authorities reporting that 3 persons have died in Gyeonggi province, where the capital Seoul is located. The Interior Ministry said the snow had piled parts of Seoul, adding that 156 flights were cancelled and 104 ferry services disrupted. Plane tracking website showed passengers at Seoul Main Airport, Incheon, faced delays of 2 hours on average, with 14% of flights delayed and 15% cancelled. Schools in Gyeonggi has received permission to close if needed this Thursday. On sport, Jude Bellingham says it was no disgrace to lose to Liverpool, but suggested Arne's Slot side wanted it more following Real Madrid's 2-0 defeat at Anfield. Goals from Alexis Mac Allister and Cody Gakpo extended Liverpool's 100% record in the Champions League while also ensuring a first win for 15 years against Real Madrid. Speaking with newsmen after the game, Bellingham said the Reds made it difficult for Real Madrid to gain a foothold in the game. Meanwhile, Europa League games will take center stage this Thursday as Manchester United host Bodo Glimt, Roma visit Tottenham, Ajax tackle Real Sociedad, and AS Alkmaar entertains Galatasaray. Security is central to the society's development, contribute to ensuring a secured society. To end the midday news and look at the major items, the Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima, while playing host to a delegation from China, said the solution to the current insecurity in the country requires collaborative efforts from all stakeholders. At a workshop for health, safety, and environment personnel of industries, the Ogun State Governor, Prince Dapo Abiodun, said his administration will continue to build on achievements in waste and environmental management towards a cleaner, healthier, and more sustainable environment. We also told you that the Russian army overnight launched massive attack on Ukraine's energy sector, forcing emergency power outages as temperatures dropped across the country. The midday news was edited by Adebimpe Waha and broadcast from OGBC Abeokuta. For exclusive programs and the latest news updates, visit our website at ogunradio.ng. Follow us on Facebook at Ogun Radio Abeokuta and on X handle at OGBC 905 FM. You can also listen to OGBC on the Radio Guardian.